Hello and welcome. Today's practice is going to be accessible. We're going to be covering some legs, spine, arms, a little bit of everything. You're going to want two chairs, preferably one of them at least without arms, a yoga mat or a surface that will not allow your chairs to slide around, a blanket, possibly two, and maybe a pillow as well. I will just be demonstrating with these props, but I will point out to you where you might use the others as we go. So just have them nearby. If this is your first time here, my name is Heather, and I teach people how to move in ways that helps them and their bodies thrive. Let's get started. So to begin today, we're going to take the blanket and have it folded up and placed on the seat. You're going to sit forward on your chair with your bum just at the edge of that folded blanket, feet grounded on the floor, nice tall spine, creating space and length up your spine through your neck and out the top of your head. Your hands can rest on your thighs, closing your eyes and just taking some nice, even breaths. Feeling the contact points between your feet and the ground, making that connection. Feeling the solidness of your hips on the chair beneath you. Letting the belly soften. Expand as you breathe in and fill it with air, and retract as you breathe out. You can gently, as you breathe out, pull your navel in towards your spine, really soft, nothing major or harsh. And just feel your rib cage stacked over your pelvis. Shoulders stacked over your rib cage, and head stacked over your shoulders. All right, we are going to slightly move our feet apart from each other. If you need to scoot back on your seat a little bit, you can. You can even move this chair that's in front of you away a little bit. We're going to begin hinging at the hips, keeping the spine tall and long as we start to hinge forward, coming into a forward fold. Eventually your back will start to curve. Your belly and chest can rest on your thighs if that's comfortable for you. You can also place a pillow. If you need to grab a pillow and put the pillow across your lap to fill the space, if you can't go very far, you can do that. And we're just going to let the head hang. Let the tension leave your neck and your head. You can let your head nod yes, shake no. Let your arms hang heavy. You can cup your elbows in your palms. And while you're here, just really feel your rib cage expanding through your back body as you breathe in. Belly pressing into your thighs, and then as you exhale, everything just settling a little deeper. You can put your fingers tented on the floor, straighten your arms, raise to a flat back, looking straight at the floor, keeping your neck in line with your spine, just to give your head a little break from being down. And you can exhale, bending your elbows, coming back into that forward fold. You can go back to elbows cupped in palms if you want to, or you can inhale to halfway rise again. Exhale, forward fold. If you're not this low, you could grasp the front of your shins Or put your hands on your knees and do some variation of the same movement in just a shallower version. Okay, and then just exhale once more into your forward fold, whatever that looks like for you. Inhale, halfway rise. And then if you want, you can use your hands on your thighs to just help yourself up to sit. We're going to bring this chair in a little closer. And we are going to place both feet up on the chair, side by side. And we're going to let the knees fall out. You're just kind of going over on the side of that foot so that your ankles stay as neutral as possible. You can bring your feet together if you want to. You can provide some support with your hands for your knees. We're looking for a gentle hip opening. We're not wanting to feel the legs shuddering and tensing as they fight gravity. So just finding whatever comfortable depth of position is good for you. If you're finding that the seat is a little bit hard on your ankle bones, you could swap out from sitting on the blanket to having your feet resting on the blanket, or you could have another blanket so that both are on blankets. Okay, we're going to use our hands to bring those knees up, returning your feet back to the floor one at a time. Now we're going to come into a figure 4 stretch. So I'm going to turn my chair so that you can see me a little differently. We're going to lift a foot and place ankle on knee. Keep those toes pulled back, that foot flexed to protect your knee joint. You can support your knee with your hand here. And you can just play with lowering that knee down. You can bring it back up. We're doing some rotation at the hip here. Still sitting tall, creating length through the spine. Now, if getting your knee up this high is not really a thing for you, you could have your other leg out straight and just have this leg resting on your shin a little further down. Okay. So you can still be moving in and out of it a bit if you want all this time, but now we're going to let that leg just open out to the side, keeping that ankle engaged, toes pulled back. Finding a comfortable position. And we're just going to hold that for a few moments. Coming back to your belly breathing. All right, you can bring that knee up. Release the foot from the leg, and we'll switch sides. So bringing your leg up, pulling those toes back, flexing that ankle, keeping the knee protected, supporting it with your hand. You can have the leg resting lower down on the other shin, and you can start to let that knee lower and rise. Sitting tall. And just notice what happens in your body, in the way that your pelvis is resting on your chair, in the way that your spine feels nice and tall as you lower the leg and bring the leg up. Is anything shifting? And if it is, maybe you make that movement a little bit smaller to see if that shifting quiets down. One more up. Let's come back into the down. Comfortable down, and we'll just let it rest there for a moment. You can bring that knee back up, release the ankle from the thigh, and bring both feet back to the floor. For this next movement, we're going to do a little bit of a spinal twist. So we're going to inhale, creating length through the spine, and we're going to exhale as we twist to the right. You can rest your left hand on a front thigh and grasp some part of the chair behind you with your right arm. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale to twist to the left. Hold that for a breath. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale as you twist to the right. Noticing what happens again through the contact points and weight distribution in your bum on the seat. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twisting to the left, and noticing what happens through your legs as you move side to side. Do they push or try to pull you at all? And inhale back to center. Looking ahead, hands resting on thighs. Take a couple of breaths to ground and resettle. Okay, now making sure, just check in again that you haven't sat back on your chair too much. We're going to step our feet rather wide. Okay, hands are going to rest on the thighs. Make sure that you're grounded. This is where you want your bum pretty forward so you've got a little more weight in your feet. We're going to inhale the left arm up to whatever height you can do. If this is what you can do, if this is what you can do, if you need to leave your hands on your hips, that's fine. We're inhaling the arms to whatever is comfortable for you, and we're exhaling towards the right hand side. Grounding through that left bum cheek on your seat so that you're not just tipping right over. Exhale the arm down, returning to upright position. Inhale the right arm up to whatever is comfortable for it. Exhaling to side bend to the left, grounding through the right bum cheek. Inhale back up. Rest the hand on the thigh. Exhale, inhale the arm. And you can do this at your own breathing rate. You don't need to follow my breathing rate exactly. It doesn't matter if you do fewer repetitions than me. You're still doing the movement. Coming out of it. Inhale the arm up one more time on this side. Exhaling to side bend. Inhaling out of it, hand comes back to thigh. Okay? For this last position, we can walk our feet back in. You're still facing your other chair. I'm going to get my chair turned around to face it. We're going to do a child's pose. So you might need to play with how far apart your chairs are for this one. You're going to have your feet a little wide, just a little more than hip width apart. We're going to hinge at the hips again like we did in our forward fold. We're going to come forward and we are going to find the chair. So we want to have our hands on the seat of the chair and your forehead can rest on the seat of the chair. You could build this up with a blanket. You could stack your forearms and rest your forehead on your back of your hand. But the idea here is to just relax into it. Let the tension leave your spine, leave your neck. The weight is in your bottom, your feet, and a little bit in your forearms and your forehead. Feeling the breath fill your back, expanding your rib cage. You can, of course, play with how wide set your feet are. It's going to be different for everybody, what's comfortable. Just letting the belly relax and have space between the thighs. When you're ready, you can start to lift your forehead. You can use your hands to bring yourself up to sit. You can bring your feet more to hip width apart. Find that front edge of your blanket again. Hands resting on your thighs, eyes are closed. Spine is long and tall. Rib cage stacked over pelvis. Shoulders stacked over rib cage. Head stacked over shoulders. And come back to your breath. And you can stay here as long as you want to. But when you're ready, you're going to gently open your eyes again. Maybe introduce some little swaying, finger wiggling, toe wiggling. You can use your hands on your thighs to help yourself come up to stand. And just see how that practice has settled in your body. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time.